Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. I am Judge Mo, of course, and this is your panel debate of Tuesday before the Champions League game between PSG and Liverpool, of course. We're talking Forest, we're talking Spurs, we're talking Arsenal, Chelsea. We're without Spurs, we're talking who can finish second in the Premier League. Of course, do Spurs need an overhaul to come back to the first? I can't
why
say
did
Spurs.
you have to? No, but why did you have to spell? Everyone knows Spurs can't.
Wallah, I didn't
bro.
I didn't mean it.
We know. Just Tottenham aren't in the race for that.
Well, you can win Europa League and be in Champions League next season.
That's not even good.
Pigs may fly as well. Huh?
What do you mean? They can definitely win the Europa League. You're ruling them out.
They can.
I'm ruling myself out. I'll be honest. We're not gonna do it. This is not. We can, but we're not gonna.
You can, but you won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Arsenal. They could win the league, but they won't.
No, Arsenal can't win the league.
Well, mathematically they can.
Yeah, but that's not. But you know that's not
That's
reality.
my
But
point.
reality
That's
is,
the same as Spurs' chances in the Europa. Jordz will agree with me. Jordz will agree.
I disagree. No, really, people don't think that Spurs can win Europa League.
No.
I mean, they can, but what the probability, in my opinion, is less than 5%. But can,
Why?
yeah, obviously.
The only didn't you lose like one?
It's not. I don't think we're gonna go out the next round. It's not a case of whether Tottenham go out the next round. It's whether Tottenham can beat the likes of Frankfurt, Lazio, and Bilbao on the way to a final when we're struggling.
I think you rise. I think you rise in the big games, though.
Maybe in some of the English, in some against the English competition, but I'll be honest. In Europe, away from home, our record has been historically bad over like the last 5 or 6 years. No, 10 or 15 years. So I'll be honest, like the confidence I had at the start of the season is not the confidence I have now, especially after that away game midweek. Like, and then the weekend's performance, like the team just looks like they're done with the manager. So yeah, man, I think it's fair to say.
Okay, we can start with Spurs. Actually, we're going to talk about Chelsea first and Arsenal and the actual chances of finishing second and who can finish above each other and who's going to be the next one. But before we go on, guys, hit that like button, guys. No More Rice Krispies is saying big up to Mo and the panel. Hope you're having a good Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, we're having a good Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, may Allah accept all our good deeds. Inshallah, and forgive all our sins. Inshallah. Do Spurs actually need an overhaul to come back to the fold? Number one, let me just ask, does anybody think that Spurs will come back to the fold soon? When I mean the fold, I mean the top 6 contention and being one of the teams that people like just think about making the Champions League in next season or the season after, or that this team is done, they peaked already in that first 10 games of last season. Do they need an overhaul? What do people think? Really? Like,
I
are we
don't
ruling
think they
them
do.
out?
I don't think they do. And I don't like Spurs. I think there's a core there that it will take, but I think it will take them 2 to 3 years. Because I like Gray, man. I think Gray's a good player if you were to play him in the right position. You got Spence, who I think is probably one of the best fullbacks on either side in the league. You've got Johnson. All right, let's not talk about him. But I just think defensively, you know, I would get rid of Romero. I'd keep Van de Ven. Your keeper's fine. You need a 6 for me and a Son replacement. And I think Spurs aren't a million miles off. I'm not saying winning anything because let's face it, Spurs don't win things. I'm talking about competing. For Spurs to compete, they're a year away.
But I disagree.
I just don't like. And
Wolfie, before you go on, George, I actually disagree with the quality of Spurs, as he's saying. Actually, they have quality in the team. But bro, Kulusevski might start for a lot of teams. Bentancur is a very good player. Solanke is a good forward. Romero, nobody can here tell me that Romero is a bad defender. Udogi is a great left back. Vicario is very good. Pedro Porro is very good. I think even Maddison is not that bad. You can tell he's an up and down player. I think even Bissouma has the quality. If he gets a manager that will actually make it. Yeah, the problem is the mentality of Bissouma. But you can't tell me that Spurs lack quality, though. You can't tell me that Spurs lack quality. I disagree.
Quality. No, I agree with that. The quality is there. That's the problem, is what Wolfie said. And for one, Wolfie, don't talk about winning trophies when your team definitely doesn't win trophies either. So
we'll go down this road.
Again, we're not going to go down that road. I just want to make it very clear. But no, the biggest problem is that we've got a lot of young players. I think right now, when you look at the team, there's a lot of players you could say have a high potential, but are they going to reach their peak at the same time? That's the question. And when will that peak be? Is it going to be within the next 2 years or so? There's a lot of questions.
Which players are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Well, I think you have to just look at our whole squad. When you look at the back line, you could say Jed Spence is the one that's proven right now. But again, he's having a good spell. Udogi last year had a very good first year. And then
that means they already reached the level where they can play top 6, George.
No, so I think some of these players can play top 6, but I think there's a case right now.
You'd add him.
You can say a Bergvall, you can say Archie Gray, you can say Odegaard. You've obviously got
even Pedro Porro is a top six quality.
No, but that's
not Porro.
You can say some of these players are top 6.
Well, have some shame.
It depends on the system, Mo. It depends completely on the systems that you're playing.
Now we're talking.
Is a lot of these players at this moment in time are for either or. Some of the questions are on Ange and his coach, and some of the questions are on the players. I look at some of the players and say, senior player wise, if you're not performing, you're not performing. Young players, that's on the manager and the fact that they're just not suiting with the tactics that Ange is setting them up with, and he's not leaning on the young players' strengths. I feel like when you bring young players into the team, work on their strengths, and then they grow on their weaknesses over time. And that's some of the biggest problems. Is the way that we set up our midfield doesn't really suit to the players that we have and the players that we put in there. So when you've got Pap Sarr, who is a road runner midfield, box-to-box midfielder, but he's being deployed on the weekend as pretty much a 10. He's not a 10, but he's being deployed as a 10. You're asking a bit too much from him. And so I think it's a case of two things. I think if a new manager comes in, you could see Spurs take a significant jump, and we could definitely be back into the fold of top 6. Because last year, at this point last year, 28 games into the season, we had 53 points. If we had 53 points this season, we'd be third. We'd be ahead of Forest. So it's clear to see that this is a worse team than last year. By the way, we have a better squad this year, just a younger squad, and we managed to do that last season. So when I look at it, I say if we can do that last year with the squad that we have and get into the top 5, then this squad is good enough to get into.
Who did you lost from last year?
Level. The squad's got smaller, like Lo Celso, Højbjerg. There was like Sessegnon, all these like fringe players.
Fringe player. Have you lost anyone key? I honestly can't remember. I'm just trying.
A lot of people would say Højbjerg was a key player for some because he played quite a lot of minutes.
He was
for 2,
but he was a 6.
No, but you could say he wasn't. He was a 6. He was a defensive midfielder. I would say that he wasn't a key player, and he was one that I wanted to move on. But a lot of Spurs fans that have been unhappy with Ange have said Højbjerg's been one of our biggest misses this season because of his tenacity in the midfield and the way that he breaks the play down. Again, he's not an amazing player, but it's a profile that we're missing. And to me, more than anything, leadership. Højbjerg was throughout our worst time one of the players that when he was doing the interviews when we were losing, and he's like the meds, the head isn't right, the players were all over the place. Like he's the one that seemed like a big leader in the dressing room. And Lo Celso, that's a quality there, a player that we just generally haven't replaced. And to replace a lot of these players, we brought in young, unproven players. So I think some of the questions regarding our team, when you say Romero, the next player to come in from him will be Luka Vuskovic, who's coming back from KVC Westerlo, but he's having literally one of the best seasons you could have as a youngster right now in football for a centre back. So he's probably going to come back, and I wouldn't be surprised if Levy and Co is like, yeah, he's primed to go play first team football. So I'll be honest, where Spurs
Would you
going
switch to a back three, bro? Would you switch to a back three?
I think at this moment in time with the wingers that we have, I would. I don't feel like we have like explosive wingers, so we could sacrifice players out in those wide positions and play, let's just say, Jed, Spencer, and Udogie in you say wing back roles.
Yeah.
Give them a bit more freedom to bomb forward because both of them are really good with the ball at their feet. And then you obviously have the three at the back plus a six that could just sit in front of them. That makes a technical back four. The problem is Ange doesn't want to play that way, and as we know with Ange, it's just who we are, mate, innit?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot. Go ahead, Dosh.
No, I don't think. Look, I think Ange is a very good manager. I think his system doesn't work for your current Spurs team because I think the way he likes to play, it works with a lot of big teams. It just doesn't work with Spurs. I also don't think you guys have the players you think you have. I think right now, if I can think of quality players, generally, I'm going to say this, and you guys will laugh all you want. I'm struggling to think who has more quality players overall between you guys and United. Generally, like I think I can say Kobe Mainoo, Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, Lisandro Martinez. Generally, because I think you guys overrate your players so much. I think there's Son.
You mean Son would start for you right now?
Son, yeah, I agree. Son, Romero, Mickey van de Ven, and
Solanke.
I'd say maybe no. I'm not doing this. And maybe.
What do you mean you're not doing this? It's actually real.
Let me land. Maybe Jet Spence, because Jet Spence this season has looked amazing, but I still like to see these kind of players do it over 2-3 seasons, not just one, but he's looked amazing this season. Kulusevski, okay, fine, I can hear that. Solanke, he's had one good season. I don't think the season has been that great, but anyways. My point is, I don't think you guys have that team. It's not where are you guys now, 12th? It's not a 12th position team, for sure, but I don't think it's like when I think of the other teams you would compete against next season, do you have better quality players than Newcastle? I don't think so. Aston Villa, I don't think so.
Can I ask you something?
Brighton, I don't think so. Bournemouth,
between them and Chelsea on paper, Vicari would start. Romero and Van de Ven are better than both centre backs. Am I wrong to say that? Pedro Porro is better than Malo Gusto. Reece James, yes, is better than both of them.
Wait. I don't think so because I actually don't rate Pedro Porro. I think he's good.
Spence is better than him. Spence is a right wing back.
Yeah, if you said Spence, I would have listened. Yeah, Spence is right back. Fair enough. Yeah, I'd take Spence. Who else?
Are we? You guys don't think that Pedro Porro is a good right back?
No.
No, I'll be honest. Like,
he's not
Pedro
good defensively.
I don't rate Pedro Porro because defensively, like I'll go for right backs that are good defensively over attacking.
Exactly.
The amount of goals that he gives us on the attack is the exact same amount that he gives away defensively, and that's literally by himself, single-handedly. So I really wouldn't like. I wouldn't.
And the funny thing is about this is when more naming these guys, he stopped at the right back because he knows everything else moving forward.
No, hold on.
But that's a load of rubbish, though, because you say everything else.
I'm not done, Jordz. I'm not done. I think Star is a very good player. If Lavia's not injured, I believe that maybe Star, Palmer, and Caicedo might start for Chelsea. Yes,
Enzo right now.
Let me finish
right now. You praised Enzo. You said he's one of the best midfielders.
Enzo has been very good for Chelsea, but I think he actually, the balance of Chelsea midfield is better with Enzo, Lavia, and Caicedo instead of Palmer, Enzo, and Caicedo. Maybe you can actually say that Bentancur, Caicedo, Palmer is a more balanced midfield than Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo. I'm not saying that Enzo is a bad player. Sometimes a player is very good, but he doesn't add to the balance of that midfield. Like there is a reason why Chelsea is wide open in the midfield on the transition. And I think someone like Sarr or Bentancur can plug this hole. Kulusevski would start for Chelsea, and at the current moment, Solanke would start for Chelsea.
Where does Kulusevski start for Chelsea? I'm curious.
Chelsea starts wherever he's required.
I honestly think he's
not a good season, man.
I genuinely would take Neto over him only as a right winger. I would 100% take Neto
over Kulusevski.
Yeah,
I would take Neto over Kulusevski.
I would. as a
I'm
right
losing
winger
my mind.
only. I would take Kulusevski in the middle, but there's no place
Kulusevski
for
is
him in the middle.
factually,
Because I wouldn't take him
factually,
over Caicedo.
literally factually the one of the best creators in the league. If
Yeah,
they
but
apart
he's
from
not
Cole
been as
Palmer,
good this season, Jordz. I
no,
don't
He's
think
been
that's
very
the
good
point.
this
This
season.
season he's been very good. It's the last 2
This-
months where he was
yes.
literally ran into the ground playing 2 games a week for 5 months. He played 90 minutes in nearly every single of them. He's literally injured now because his workload. He said a month ago, prior to that Manchester City game, that he's been playing at 40 to 50% for a long time. But because there's no one else, he has to play. So he said all this, then got injured straight after. And you're telling me that Kulusevski wouldn't get into... He would get into your team, he'd get into Chelsea's team, he'd get
He
into your team.
100%
In
would not
whatever
get into my
position.
team anywhere.
Yes, he would. He would drop
100% not
Odegaard.
get it.
What are you doing here?
No, he wouldn't. Get the hell out of here, bro. You
he's
guys
getting
want
to my team. What are you
knee-jerk
talking about?
reactions. That's ridiculous, bro.
Odegaard
he
would get
wouldn't do
dropped for
Odegaard.
Kulusevski. He had
No, he wouldn't.
Odegaard
No, he
wouldn't
wouldn't.
wash
This is what I'm
Kulusevski's
saying when I
boots
say you
this
guys
season.
overrate your players, and then a new manager comes in, you'll have a nice burst, then come back exactly where you're supposed to be, and you'll be like, I don't understand what's going on. Because you overhype your guys. That's literally what you guys do. You overhype your players.
That is true. I think my opinion is balanced. In 2 years, Spurs will be better once their youngsters have matured a little.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure,
don't think
maybe.
Jordz can jump to the conclusion that Spurs will be in a title race next season or a Champions League race next
I didn't
season.
say that, but we could definitely be in a Champions League race again. Our team's not so far off. You literally just need two of again. You're talking about the teams above us. I don't look at any of the teams above us and say they're way better than us. No, let's have it right. If you want to do the context,
But their team
Spurs
is
haven't
better.
had most of
Their
their
team's not
no,
better.
because when you talk about the first 11, the first 11 is not the problem. It's always been squad wise for Tottenham. For one, most of the teams above us, with 2 or 3 additions in the summer, which we will go and do, well, we should go and do, I should say. Then that's already jumping. We're going to be battling up there. The problem this season, let's be honest, has been the availability of players. Like Tottenham wouldn't be 12th if we didn't have as many injuries. That's facts. I don't sit here and do the crying thing, and I don't sit here and talk about injuries every week. But the facts are, if Tottenham didn't have 2 centre-backs that were out for 4 months, we wouldn't be in the position that we are. We wouldn't be in 13th. So when you say, is our team as a 12th place position team? No, but should they be challenging? I'm not being funny. Look at the gap between 9th and 10th, 6th and 10th. It's like 2-3 points. You're telling me Tottenham wouldn't be in that race right now? They wouldn't be in the race.
Look at the
What are we
gap
doing here?
between top
Last
4
season
and
at this
Tottenham.
point, yes, last season at this point, we had more points than you've accumulated, Wolfie. That's my point. And that wasn't last season. I never sat there and was watching Tottenham at this point going, raw, this is a good Tottenham team. We were dropping points in fucking games constantly last year. We were inconsistent. And even
Bro,
then,
you are 13 points.
Yes, but you're talking about us right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now,
You're talking about last season.
No, but
That's
I'm not talking
irrelevant.
about off the back of what else has got us to this point in the season. Obviously, Ange and all these other factors. But next season, there can be a significant jump. To think that Tottenham's going to be battling down at 9th and 10th next season is crazy.
It's not crazy. I'm saying not Champions League. You could battle for Europa. You could battle for
the difference between
conference.
Champions. My point is,
You-
difference between Champions League and Europa League is no at this point. There's literally no difference.
Yeah,
right now
in
with
this
regards to
season. In
competition.
this season, not traditionally though. Not traditionally. When
Well,
the table's more
most seasons,
settled.
there's about 5 points between 4th and 6th.
Yeah, and 5 points is big, bro. You got to jump 13 from where you are now to be in and around the Champions League. To be 5th, you'd need to jump 13 points. 13. That's a big jump.
You know what? The problem
Yeah.
is Wolf is talking like he's guaranteed to finish, for example, above Spurs next season. He's guaranteeing
That's how
that
he
he will
feels.
finish above,
That's how he feels.
above Spurs, bro. Easily. He's saying easily he will finish
Yeah.
above Spurs next season.
I mean,
It's
well,
funny
actually, let me
because-
retract
like,
it.
you know
No,
what
I
it
will
is?
be
It's
honest.
Wolfie's
Yeah,
got
okay, I'll retract it.
experience
I
for
will
a
not
while.
make any predictions on next season until I've seen everyone's summer window.
Oh,
That's-
now you
that's
wanna
my
say that.
stance.
No, it's guaranteed what you said. I'm going to clip up that bit before you said that anyway.
I
would
said,
say
let me
though-
retract it.
Yeah, it's fine. The retraction's not
No,
going to
I
be in
would
the clip.
say though,
It's
no, I
fine.
would say-
Yeah, it's not.
No, I would say though, in terms of all our teams, from last season to this season, most of our predictions were all wrong. No
Yes.
one would have thought the top 4 race is where it is right now. No one predicted Liverpool to win the league. Exceptions
I
don't make
did
the rule.
correction. I did. Thank
Exception
you
doesn't
very
make the
much.
rule. That's why I literally said it right after.
Can't say no one though.
No one would have predicted the teams to have fallen off would have fallen off this drastically. The point is that year to year, there's no linear progression with any of our teams. Arsenal regressed. Chelsea have improved by a little bit. Nottingham Forest have massively jumped. Spurs have massively dropped. It's hard to say. Jordz isn't right and always wrong. We just have to see. So I know it's a dumb answer, but we generally don't know who's going to be fighting for the league next season. Yes, you could obviously you have more probability it'll be Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. Look at Man City this season. Who would have thought that we drop into 5th in the league? No one would have thought that.
Me,
No one.
I put him fourth.
Again, the exceptions don't make the rules. It's a general consensus, right? So Jordz isn't wrong, but at the same time, he's not right. It is someone said in the chat, ifs and buts. Same with Chelsea, same with even Arsenal. Sorry, Ashraf, you're in this bucket now. You're not guaranteed to be second next season. No way. I can't say
Or this season, bro. Or this season.
Or this season even.
Down, oh my.
But Ashraf, you get my point, right? Who would have thought Arsenal would yet again not be their year? Everyone thought they're going to win something. And they
To
didn't.
be honest, a lot of people, but okay.
No, Ashraf.
Not me, not me, not me.
Just to give you some
Not
context,
me, but a lot of people.
I didn't put him down to win anything either.
And again, my whole point is I still think whatever we are saying about we don't know what's going to happen, we can still discuss the facts. And the facts for me personally is that, look, there's only two things that are going to happen. Either Spurs are going to get rid of the manager or they're going to keep the manager. If they keep the manager, I don't see anything changing because I don't think he's going to suddenly change his style. I don't rate their players. I think even when they get Mickey Van de Ven and Romero, I said they're not a 12th place team, but I think they're like a top 8 team, which is not exactly where they want to be anyways. If they change the manager, I think they will have that new manager bounce, that new manager boost, which they had with Conte, they had with Mourinho, they had with Ange. And then within the same season, they'll probably start going down again because, again, the players aren't good enough. If the ownership suddenly starts acting more serious and making better starting 11 signings, not squad, because I know Jordz will say our starting 11 is fine. I think the starting 11 is crap, in my opinion.
It's
I think
very
they're four-
good. This
I
is
never
bullshit,
never
bro.
once said the starting 11 was fine. I said we need
No,
improvement.
but him saying the I want to. I'm sorry, Shez, you're the only one who didn't contribute to this. For Ashraf to say the starting 11 is crap, I think it's so shit crap, bro.
Crap?
my
No,
thoughts-
It's Crystal Palace,
Let me
bro.
clarify.
No,
Crap
you
to
said
finish-
crap, bro.
Yeah, crap to finish top 6. I don't think
Absolutely.
it's good.
I just
Wait,
I
do you want
disagree
my
with you.
thoughts
Okay,
on Tottenham's
fair.
team?
Fair.
No, I would say if it's
I
hard
can
to say
think of
because even
7 teams that have better teams.
Ashraf, hold on. Because even last
ahead,
season
go
when Tottenham were doing their thing, a lot of their rivals did also fall off, like Chelsea, for example. But Jordz is right because this time last year they did have a lot more points. It's on the league dependent. I would say Spurs having a good season would be challenging for top 4. Spurs having an average season would probably be them being like Conference League position. So I feel like they're in between the 4th and like 8th bracket. If they have a really good season,
That's what we're saying, though. Essentially,
no,
what
George,
I've
I'm just
been
giving my
saying is-
opinion. I don't know who said that. That's just my opinion. Like,
Yeah,
if
but
you said-
Chaz, don't you think he's a bit disingenuous in his position, Jordz? Because he's
what did he say?
bringing
I
up
didn't hear what he
this.
said before. I hear what he said
He's
before.
saying
I
they
hear what he
were
said
on
before.
5th. What did you say, Jordz? 53 points this time last year.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
point, I don't like that point.
Because
Yeah.
do you expect Spurs next season to go 10 unbeaten at the
No,
start?
no.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I
The
made
points point, I
that
don't agree.
point. I made that point to reference to the fact that you said, "Oh, what's the difference between the teams this year and last year?" You said, "Oh, what players have you missed?" and so on. And I said, "Okay, our squad's got smaller, our teams got worse." Oh, you say the squad's got smaller, and we're missing more key senior players this year, and we've dropped. That's 19 points. So if you're going to sit there and say Tottenham are going to go, will they not? They won't go on a 10-game unbeaten run. That's fine, but 19 points is statistically like
But you started,
gonna
didn't you?
draw.
8 wins, 2 draws last season. You'll never do that again in your lifetime.
You're
Ever.
saying, but that's just rubbish because I saw it under
Lifetime, I
Mourinho.
don't know.
Under Mourinho, with an even crap team, we were top of the table 11 games in. Like it's not nothing new. You're
That's
trying
not
to
what
say
I said, though, bro. That's not what I
No,
said.
No,
You're
but
not
it
going to
is-
go 8 in a row in
All
your
right.
lifetime
We
again.
didn't go 8 in a row though. It wasn't 8 in a row. We won like 4 in a row.
In
Played
10,
Arsenal, we
in
drew.
10 they didn't.
There was 8 wins and 2 draws.
Yeah,
for
8
the
wins,
first
2
it
draws.
wasn't 8 wins in a row. My point. 8 wins. All right, 8 wins
Yeah,
and 2
yeah.
draws. It's not like again. We started off the season good. We started off the season like we had our best start to season 2 years before that with Mourinho. Is my point. It's not nothing new. Starting to good to the season doesn't mean anything, and I'm not equating it to being that. But ultimately, the squad was performing at a good level at the start of the season. They dropped off from that level due to multiple factors. One of those being injuries, one of those being the squad and tactics getting found out. Ange hasn't done enough to work on that over the time, and that's why we're at where we're at now. Whereas when you have minimal players, minimal squad, you're unable to find solutions.
Yeah, but
Jordz.
Jordz, do you think if he
Question-
stays next season,
I've got a
you
question.
can
I
get
was going to say
top
that.
4?
Yeah.
I don't trust in Ange, so I don't really have
So,
much
George,
faith.
do you
in
believe
going
then?
forward if
You don't
Ange
trust
is our
Ange.
manager.
Do you believe manager of your choice? You don't have to say who because that's the wonky.
He's going to say
conversation to have.
Iriola.
Yeah, whatever you
No,
want
I
to get in.
said Xavi. Xavi's my number
Well,
one.
let's say Xavi comes in, yeah. How many
Xavi who? I'm
signings-
sorry, Xavi Hernandez or
He will-
Xavi Alonso?
He means
Xavi
Hernandez,
Hernandez.
but he'll never join Spurs, bro. Come on.
Xavi Hernandez.
So, Mo, let's just
Oh,
use that
right.
premise. If you get Xavi
Okay.
Hernandez, yeah,
I think they can get
are
him. By
you
the way, I think
guarantee top 4? Is that what you're saying?
There's no guarantee in top 4 though. You guys know that we're all battling for top 4.
So you're
There's never
basically
has been a
agreeing with
guarantee.
you're basically agreeing with us.
No,
then,
because
like,
because there has never been a guarantee for top 4. You just have
but
to
you-
look at the
you-
top
if
4
you
positions.
can't say to me,
the
yeah,
third
we're gonna
and
make-
fourth position over the last 10 years has been 2 different teams so many times. What are we doing here? So it's not going to act like and say there's
Yeah,
a
but George,
guarantee.
the point-
Especially now, there's no guarantee. But what it will do is there will be a significant improvement from this season, i.e., we're likely to finish on around 45 to 50 points, which is absolutely dreadful. I know next season we'd finish on 60 plus points, definitely. And 60 plus, around 66 to 67 is usually what ends up being a top 4 place. So,
But George, are you saying the injuries hurt you so bad to the point that you're 12th? Because some of your losses, like
there's
Leicester,
multiple
like Ipswich,
reasons.
like
And
Crystal
there's multiple
Palace,
reasons.
like all these kind of games, you say multiple reasons,
We-
but you're putting
you're gonna try and
primarily as
allude to 2
injuries.
games in Ipswich and Crystal Palace. The only 2
No,
games
I gave
you
other
can actually point at.
examples, but
You did
anyways,
just say Ipswich and
Everton,
Crystal Palace.
Everton, Brighton when you were 2-0 up, like we can keep going. There's
Again,
many
whatever
games.
what happened in the Everton game, that was during the injuries run when we had Archie Gray at the back and Ben Davies.
Yeah, but
bench.
you still were. I mean, you still don't lose 3.
But this is the thing, though, I don't get is Ashraf, because as an Arsenal fan right now, all I see consistently is, oh, what do you guys expect Arteta to do when he has no attackers? Okay.
Question, George.
I
Did
haven't
you hear
made
that
that- wait,
from
wait.
me? Did you hear that from me or
It's
other
not my
Arsenal
point.
fans?
My point is
I'm
that
asking you for
can
your
give
opinion.
context. You can give context to why things happen. Does it mean it's an excuse? No, but also the manager needs to take control of that situation and make sure that it never happened. He should have known prior to the season that we needed another centre back. Spurs have needed more centre back backup for 3 years now. They haven't brought in enough centre backs. He brings in a player like Dragusin who didn't suit the way we played anyway, and he okayed that. That's a problem. So there is problems outside of the injuries that have caused Tottenham to be so bad this season. There's no doubt about that. I've pointed that out in numerous streams, saying the tactics, pointing out some of the players like Maddison, Son, shying away when they need to have big performances. They're not doing their jobs. So there's multitude of reasons as to why we're here.
Yeah. So my
But the
point is,
main
why do you
reason-
think? So my
the
point
main
is, why
reason
do you
we're
think those
this
reasons
low
will
is-
go next season? Why do you think this is outside the injuries, which is not in your control?
Well, because I look at
completely?
it like Son's not going to be a main player next season. It's been very clear to see that he's been phased out slowly throughout this year. He can't be trusted to play 2 games a week. And you see, since Odegaard's come back, Odegaard got a start straight away against Manchester City for a reason, because Odegaard was seen as the successor to Son. He was supposed to play a lot more this season to take over his spot on the left wing. Whether he's a good enough player to do that or not, that's another question. But a player like Maddison, I'll be honest, not a big fan of Maddison. More than happy to sell Maddison in the summer, but I think it's been clear to see that if we do bring in another manager, Maddison might have a new lease of life. He may or may not have. Don't really care, because Bergvall's coming through, who's looking class, and Bergvall will be a guaranteed starter in the midfield next year, and he will improve. When you talk about, oh, is that a guarantee? There's definitely a guarantee that Bergvall's going to be a new player next
Is
year.
Johnson good enough?
No, Johnson's not good enough. It's not even a question.
no, absolutely not.
And then
Absolutely.
Solanke's been in and out of the team most of this season.
Solanke's not good enough, bro. Solanke's not good enough.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
better
know.
than Chris Wood. I
Can
don't know
I-
what we're doing here, man.
And
Just
how many
because
goals
man's got
is-
one good season.
So you think for the long term, if someone wants to sign, they would sign Chris Wood over Solanke, Wolfie?
Why have you got to add long term into it?
Because it's
Because
a
he-
one season
argument
that
is
Chris Wood will give you
because
one
the age.
season. Yeah,
What are you talking
exactly.
about, one
The age-
season? Chris
I-
Wood has never scored less than 10 goals in a Premier League season.
That's not true. I actually looked that up last time he said that. That's not factually true.
Go on, then. Go on, tell me when he didn't. In the Premier League, when has he not scored less than 10 goals?
I'll get
His 10 goals. Are you
I'll
bragging
check.
10 goals now?
Solanke isn't even in double
He
figures.
had,
Habibi.
okay,
What are
20
you talking about?
Matt
2022
Dwayne is almost on 10
23.
goals this season.
2022 to 23, he didn't have over 10 goals.
How many games did he play that season?
He played 25 games or so. He had 3
That's a
goals.
lot.
That's a lot.
Anyway, okay,
Three goals.
okay, guys, before we go on, guys, there's over 400 people here in the house. We're not even on 100 likes. Hit that like button underneath your live chat. Big up everybody that joined us. Guys, make sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, all these guys' channels in the description. Durak Diaries, of course, Force Fan TV, Shez, and Ashraf Talks Ball. All the guys' channels are in the description. Go and support them. Shez is starting to stream regularly now. Of course, if you're a Force fan or if you're a Premier League fan, Wolfie does a lot of watch-alongs, Premier League forums, and a lot of panel debates. And Durak Diaries now to do 2 streams a day as well. Jordz sometimes, so it's actually crazy that Jordz does 2 streams a day. It's crazy, actually. So, guys, let's get to 100 likes at least, guys, before we go on. Hit that like button, of course. Jordz is literally sending the link in the private chat. You can check it, Wolfie.
It's just because I've heard Wolfie say this on so many streams recently. I'm like, I checked this. This is bullshit.
I don't know, I'm
Like it's bro. My man has 3 goals in 25 appearances just 2 seasons ago. But you want to sit here and say, show me a season he's played under 10? Come on, man. Come on, nah.
Guys, let's get the likes up. And I want to, guys, show you something now. Hit the likes, guys, before we actually go and actually. Shez, what is this?
Lol. It is what it is, isn't it? You man read it or not? It says what it
It's
says,
good
innit?
marketing. That's what I'll say. It is. That's smart marketing.
Thank you.
What was your answer to that question, Ches? Because you're gonna say it was a question mark. What was your answer? Because I don't know. Was you viewing it like? Was you viewing it like you're 6 points behind them? You're gonna catch up this week and then jump? Like, what's going on?
What's this Sancho news, by the way? What's going on?
Chris Wheeler just released an article saying that Chelsea, big up, of course, Abdi Has for reporting the news. He's saying there is still a possibility that Jadon Sancho could end up back at Man United this summer if Chelsea decide not to go through with the deal. That is a change of news because we know that if Chelsea finish above 14, they must get Jadon Sancho. So I don't know how.
Apparently, I think this is just off the back of what was said in Jim Ratcliffe's interview about like them having to pay for Sancho like 18 million this summer, regardless of him playing for them or not. Like they have to pay Dortmund 18 mil. So I think these guys are just jumping off the back of it. In the journalists trying to make
probably,
it
but I think Chelsea will have. I actually think even if Chelsea have the possibility of not getting Sancho, they're actually gonna redeem him for 25 million. Because even if Sancho's not good, they definitely can make a profit.
Yeah, they make money on him, 100%. Yeah,
100%. Chelsea will sell him for more than 25 million.
I just saw the news
right?
and it came up. I was like, bro, what happened there? Yeah,
it's not like actually. It's not actually like.
Knowing Chelsea are conniving like that. They'll find the loophole somewhere where they could have. They're stupid like that. They'll find a way in it. But
let me before we go on, let me just do this before we go on. Jordz, Deji would take Arteta over Ange, would you? Yes, 100%.
Well, no, because I was.
He's gonna say no just out of hatred.
No,
it's not out of hatred. It's simple. It's very simple. No, it's very simple. Arteta doesn't win things. Why am I gonna?
It doesn't matter. Okay. I am asking you a simple question. If I give you tomorrow an option to swap Arteta with him, this is the only option you have. It's a yes or no. Would you do it?
No.
Hell no. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's just hatred for the club. That's it.
No, I wouldn't do it.
I respect it.
I would not.
There's nothing. There's no logic to it whatsoever, to be honest.
Yes,
there is logic. You don't win anything.
No, there isn't.
Exactly.
You don't win.
Guys, I'll repeat Mo's question in case you guys didn't hear it.
Would he take him over?
If the only options are Ange and Arteta, every other manager is gone. They have said, Wallahi, on my life, I will never sign for Spurs. It's only Arteta or Ange. There's no one else. Zero.
I'd take Ange.
To say you would take Ange is stupid, given that we've seen Arteta work well with
factually.
Yes, he doesn't win things.
Stupid.
Yes, he doesn't win things.
Actually, Ange has won things, and Ange's a better manager.
Let me land. Yes, Arteta doesn't win things, but what we do know factually, since we want to use Spurs' words, is he develops young teams and he gets them to challenge. Yes, he will never get over the line because he's not good enough. But at least he'll get them to challenge.
What are you doing
Your team cannot even get to top 6. So you're saying you would rather be 8th, 9th, 6th, 8th, 5th, or be 2nd?
Didn't you finish 8th under Arteta in your first season?
Plus Arteta won an FA Cup. You guys would die for an FA Cup.
That wasn't his team, so move on.
It was still Arteta's coaching, so what it is what it is.
That's great.
That means
team.
that means
That's great,
Arteta
and
can
that's
take
nice for
Ange's
him.
team.
Wait, did
That
you
means
finish
Arteta-
both the first 2 seasons in 8th under Arteta? I can't remember now.
His first half season, yeah, because he came and he found the team.
And
in
now it's a
11th.
half season.
it was
When you
half.
want to include the
Was it
FA
not in
Cup.
October he take over? October.
In December, end of December. What do you want about?
Oh, December. So he still had 5
Yes.
months, half of the season.
Exactly, half a season. That's what I just
sorry.
said. If
No,
you
no.
listen,
So
I
he,
said
so, he
half a
had,
season.
so he had half the season to change it around, and he didn't.
He did. We won an FA Cup.
Oh, well, no,
What do
you
you
didn't
mean?
because you finished 8th that next year, so there was no progression.
Yeah, I agree. The next season it wasn't. I'm saying that season he finished 8th.
So back
won
to
the
back,
FA
he
Cup.
finished 8th, and we should be impressed because
Because for Spurs,
Because
he
he's
would be a
been
better
given
manager.
time.
Because
he's
for
been given time.
Spurs,
No,
because for
Wolfie,
Spurs,
it's
there's
the
two.
feeling, innit? It's the feeling.
No,
yeah,
there's two
yeah,
guys.
but Chez, the
guys,
big
there's-
thing he hasn't
there's-
brought up in this conversation is
It's-
how
that's it,
much
that's it.
money has Arteta spent, Habibi? Tell us that.
less than Spurs in that same time. But anyways, guys, there's two options. For
Not
Spurs.
less
Win-
more than
win-
Ange.
Win no trophy with Ange and finish 8th, 6th, 7th. Win no trophy with Arteta and finish 2nd. Both are crap.
That's
But
just
in
fighting
most
for his life.
questions-
Wait, do you know? Wait,
In
do you know why that's a
most-
shit question?
I want-
Because
I want
let's
Arteta
have it right,
outside.
Ashraf. No, let's have it right.
want
You want him out? You want him out?
You would have wanted
Yeah,
Arteta.
it's
And I
simple.
bet,
No,
wait,
I didn't know
let's
this.
have
I
it
didn't know
right.
this, Jordz.
No, let's have it right. I bet you wanted Arteta
Jordz
out
knows this
4
better.
years ago when
We'll
he was
speak on it,
going
we'll
on that
speak on it.
when Arteta was on that winning streak, losing streak of where he won 1 game in 13. You remember that run? I know you do. You wanted him out at that point, didn't you? Right?
I did. 100%.
Okay. So wait. So you wanted him out then,
What is-
and so you're
what
now
is-
telling me you're oh yeah, it's good to finish 2nd. He didn't get to 2nd by that point. So
Wait,
I'm
wait,
not
wait,
saying-
Wolfie, no, Wolfie,
But
you're
yeah,
wrong,
by
you're
your
wrong.
logic, we need to
Actually,
give
actually,
Ange 5. No,
I
we
just
need
need
to
to
give
question-
Ange
I didn't
5
say-
years. We need to
I
give
didn't
Ange
say
5
Arteta-
years to get to.
Yeah.
Well, is it? He
If
finished
it's
2nd in his
Ange or
first
Arteta,
season.
then I have to choose Arteta. I just beat the question. I thought it was just Arteta in general.
No,
Wolfie,
exactly. It's
Wolfie, let's
not.
not lie. We're not choosing Ange.
Bro,
We're not.
I am choosing
Oh,
Ange over Arteta.
Why?
Any day of the week.
Okay.
You know what? Do you want to know why my logic is that? Yeah,
No, I just deeped it.
I'll tell you
We're
my
talking about
logic.
Premier League
Exactly,
only.
Spurs.
Nah, bro, I'll tell you my
Only
logic. My
Arteta,
logic
like-
is simple, man. My
Yeah,
logic
I have
is
to use my
simple.
logic. I have to be
Neither
logical.
manager wins anything, right? At least I'm entertained if I'm watching Ange ball. That's it. That's
No,
the
wait,
only way you can
wait,
make that decision.
Wait. Good point. Jordz, quick question, please. Are you entertained watching Spurs this season?
Obviously not.
No. Wait, let him answer. He's a
Obviously,
Spurs fan.
obviously not.
He's a Spurs fan. Jordz, are you entertained watching
There's
Spurs?
goals, and that's what you get to see.
One second, I'm asking
By
him.
Wolfie's logic, we're second highest score
No.
scorers.
There you
By
go.
your
Exactly.
logic- By
I'm
your
just-
logic, as a Spurs fan, do you enjoy watching your team this season? Because
I-
Wolfie said
I didn't say enjoy. I
You
said
know what? Just
entertained.
enjoy watching or
Hey, I'll
Exactly.
take Ten Hag.
Thank
I'll
you.
take Ten Hag. That's a fact.
It's
Over there
subjective.
to take
You
Ten Hag.
take Ten Hag.
I'd rather
I
take Ten
agree.
Hag. I'll be honest.
Can we just have one
Ten Hag
person
will do a
speaking?
decent job with our squads.
I
He'll do a
actually
decent
that-
job, I tell
okay.
you.
So the follow up question is this: Arteta finished 8th and 8th. Ange finished 5th
Fifth.
last season, and he's gonna finish bottom half of the table because there's 10 points between him and 10th.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think if Ange stayed at Spurs the same amount of Arteta and given the same funds, he will be able to get Spurs where Arsenal are right now?
No, but I think he'll win a trophy.
Do you,
I
you
would
think-
say yes, he would do better. He would
I think
do
you
he'll
think
better.
he would do
trophy.
better?
I think he'll win.
Because
mean,
if you because to
because-
be fair,
I'm
we
not-
have to say the trajectory of Ange is not going towards Arteta's team at the
Yeah,
current
but we
moment.
haven't got. Hold on, Mo. We haven't got as big of a sample size of Ange. We've only got.
We
2
have
years.
we're 2 seasons now.
No,
No,
this is
because
almost
you
two
know,
seasons.
by your logic, within that
Yeah.
same amount of time, Arteta had only gone
it's
8 and 8.
It's 6 years, isn't it, George? It's 6 years of Arteta. It's hard to judge, isn't it? Like he might.
So
Ange might come 5th next season, and he's already surpassed Arteta's first 3 seasons.
And also, we're giving him 750 million to spend.
Because
the-
Arsenal finished what 8th, 5th. If he finishes,
So the
what,
majority-
back-to-back
well, no, what I will say though is I don't
Hold
think
on. So the majority of the panel think that Ange, if he's given what Arteta has been given, will be a better coach, will have a higher
I
ceiling
don't know
than
about coach,
Arteta.
but I think
No,
he'll
not
win a
coach.
trophy.
Ceiling?
I think
I win
trophy.
a trophy. I don't think he wins a league. I'll say
But it
that.
depends what you put weight on,
Yeah,
Mo. If you're
I think
saying
he'll
style of play over trophies, I disagree with that. I'd always pick trophies.
And that's what I was
People
gonna say. When you go to the entertainment, I
Yeah,
wasn't
like,
that
we're doing
watching
entertainment
Conte,
thing,
but
then
I
there's a
tell you that
spectrum. We
I
could be here
prefer
all
Conte's
day. But if we're being objective and saying who'd win more, in my opinion, because Arteta's 1-0, if time was to be infinite, Arteta would only have
Arteta won
what?
an FA Cup. Ange has won nothing.
Ashraf,
at Spurs.
if time was to be infinite, we would take 100.
Actually, go against your argument.
Wasn't his team? Don't count.
Why, no, do you know what, Ashraf? You
Ashraf.
might as well just throw in the charity shields because I know your
And
manager.
just
loves
one
it.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no, no.
three
I'm
of
saying
them,
FA Cup.
Thing,
I'm
innit?
not saying Charity Shield. FA Cup.
Because
Oh, your
Arteta's
manager
As
got
loves
more.
Arteta is.
Ange has won nothing.
Hold on, I'm sorry. If Arteta was managing in Scotland, he would have won something as well. And if he's
Exactly.
I never said he
really
would.
Give him-
I
give
don't
him
think he
Celtic.
would have, bro.
Hold
I
on,
think
hold
this
on,
guy's
hold on.
allergic.
Give
Bro,
him Celtic.
that rebuttal doesn't make any sense because I never said
It
he wouldn't.
does.
The point is, listen, the point is, Arsenal decided to hire a rookie manager. That's their problem.
Okay.
I'm just dealing with the facts. That's my problem.
Mm,
And
mm.
just won things before facts. He's won in a respected competition, right? That's a fact. Now, if you want to weight that in terms of where it would be in terms of rankings, it's not the highest. Cool, Scottish League.
It's
I hear
not
it.
respected though.
But
Because Brendan
Arteta's
Rodgers
only
won the league
Ashraf.
undefeated.
What are you talking
Ashraf.
about, bro?
Steven-
They
Steven
have
Gerrard.
European. You're
Ashraf.
gonna
Gerrard.
come
Your
at the
manager
Scottish
has a-
teams.
One at a
Gerrard
time.
won
One at
the
a
league.
time, please.
Let me
One at a
finish
time,
what I'm
guys.
saying, Ashraf.
Go ahead.
You're dying for a manager who's bottled 3 title races. I'd relax. Yeah.
I want him out.
You've won
I want
one
him out this summer.
trophy. You've won one
Wrong person.
trophy in 6 years. I'm sorry, with that much money spent and that time frame, any manager should definitely be winning at least a Carabao Cup, at least 2 FA Cups, at least something. You're not even making it
don't
to
disagree.
finals.
We don't
You're
disagree.
not even making
Okay,
it to
hold on.
finals.
So by
How's
hold
that
on. So
relevant to
by,
the question?
by everyone's logic here, would you
Because I
guys
think
take
Ange would
Ten
make a
Hag
final
over
wins of it.
Arteta then? Would you guys
Sorry?
take Ten Hag over Arteta then?
Yeah, I said I would.
No.
For
No.
6 years.
No,
Okay, Shez,
Mo,
you're
use your
honest. At least
questions.
Shez, you're honest at least. Wolfie,
Be honest.
no.
how
still
is that
winning
logic?
trophies.
Logic, and then how is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, why? He
making it
he
fair?
won 2 cups.
Bro,
Hey, wait,
respectfully,
hold on,
you-
Shez.
respectfully, bro, you're asking me to choose between constipation and diarrhea in all these conversations, right?
Yeah,
I
pick
don't
one.
want
Pick
either.
one.
I don't want either.
Pick one.
You're
Pick,
not being
no,
consistent,
pick
Wolfie.
one.
Be
Don't
consistent.
do this.
And I just told you, I'd rather have Arteta than Ten Hag. But
Why?
I
Do you know
have
what?
Ange
Do you know
over
why
those
this is
two.
a shit question? Because you guys are doing it right now again. Arteta's had like a couple good years. If you asked this question 2 years ago, Ten Hag was revered as a way better manager than
Yes.
Arteta was. So again, and in that time, within 2 years, he went to one of the worst run clubs in England.
Still
And
not.
I'm not defending Ten Hag, but literally one of the worst run clubs in England. Still managed to win 2 trophies, and people are going to sit here and act like, oh, Ten Hag's absolutely washed.
He
He
can't be
literally
that
come out
terrible,
and said he can't play his football at this club with these players. So when you see Ten Hag go elsewhere and actually do a decent job, people are going to be like, oh, rah, I forgot what this manager was like.
There we
So
go.
doing this, like Arteta is only good or considered a top manager because he plays good football. That is literally it. Without playing
No,
good football and being
it's
pretty
because
good.
he-
No, because you
No,
finished
no.
second does not make you a top manager. He finished second.
Because we challenged. Because we
Right,
challenged.
that's
There's a
it.
difference. Because we challenged. That's why he's considered a good
My
manager.
logic's
There's so many
consistent,
managers
innit?
that
I
have
think
challenged. You
consistent.
do know that. And not one.
Sorry was considered a good manager when he didn't win shit with Nab. He didn't win the league. He bottled the league every
And guess
single
what? He
season
came and
against
what did he do?
Juve.
He
And,
still
and
won
he
at
came.
Chelsea,
Wait,
though.
wait. What did he do against you guys?
I'm saying,
In
but the
Europe? What
point
did he do
is,
against
with
you guys?
Napoli,
Wait. What did he do against you guys? When you went to a final, what happened?
George, you're making my point for me. Thank you. When he was with Napoli, going up against Juve, he bottled, left to Chelsea, a team with more resources, a team with better owners, and won something. So if Arteta goes to
He didn't win a
Scotland,
league.
if Arteta goes to Scotland, like Steven Gerrard did, like Brendan Rodgers did, like Ange did, and he coaches Celtic, there's a very good chance he wins the league. That's a BS argument.
No,
if
but
Ange
Ashraf-
comes to Arsenal, he
I
doesn't
just
even win
spoke
that
about
first
Ten
FA
Hag.
Cup.
I didn't speak
No,
about
but, no, but I don't know
just
how we
spoke
got
about
No,
Ten Hag.
because I'm going back to the original question. You guys are
But
deflecting.
You have
Ashraf,
no
I'm going
rebuttal
back to
with
this
Ten
question
Hag,
too,
that's
yeah.
why.
I understand, Ashraf. I understand your point, yeah. But here's the thing, yeah. Wait, my back. Cool.
What is
Here's the
happening
thing,
to
yeah.
him?
Yeah.
I touched my mic. I thought I muted it. Anyway, let me just say this, yeah. I'm going off trophies, and you can say all you want about if he went there, if he done this. Unfortunately, he's at Arsenal. We're looking at his Arsenal stint. We can't go if he went to France, he'd win the league. We actually don't know that yet because he's never done it. So for me,
Would you
I have to
take, would you
deal with
take
the fact.
Ranieri?
Ten
Would you take
Hag,
Ranieri now?
if you
over...
told me right now, Maresca gets sacked
Yeah.
tomorrow, and you have to choose between Ange, Eric, and Mikel Arteta. I'm choosing what's it called Ten Hag because at least he can
So
win
if-
something with the resources he's got.
Would you take Ranieri over Arteta right now? Because Ranieri won a league, and that too, like with Leicester of all teams.
You know what? That's a debate. That's a debate. I think about it.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
He's actually got
Okay,
experience. of taking
All right,
the
then.
team.
I've
Let me
got a
do-
manager. I do not. I don't even.
Can
wanna-
Can I
I
just
think
do
there's
the
so many managers that are better than Arteta. Even you can go to, if we want to go Serie A, like a Gasparini.
I don't
definitely better than
disagree.
Arteta.
I don't
But
disagree.
people are going to sit here and tell me
Can I ask you a
Arteta's better
question?
because he's new, the new toy.
I
But
don't
sorry,
disagree, but what you're doing
Well,
is you're
well,
jumping
question,
the
please.
points and you're jumping
No.
to something else. Your original
Wanna
point
ask
was
me a
redundant.
question?
Yeah, I want to ask you a question because you don't
Okay.
support Premier League team. Objectively speaking,
Yes.
forget the club. Shouldn't a manager who spent nigh on 700 million, been there for
Yes.
6 years, shouldn't the
Mhm.
bare minimum be to be challenging?
Yes.
So why are we
Yeah.
praising the guy for doing the bare minimum?
that's a good
Because
question.
not a lot. Because a lot of coaches have spent the same money with clubs.
But they
And
don't,
they
they
are
don't
not
get the same
challenging.
time.
Some of them get like,
a fact,
but
that's
he
a
was.
fact.
But hold on. But he was challenging within 3 years only.
No. It was
What?
by
No,
the
it
end
wasn't.
of his.
What do you mean?
Yes,
No.
that's a lie.
Let's have it right in that.
Yes.
In that,
Within 3
in that
years
no,
only.
Yes.
no,
Hold on.
Factually
You want-
speaking, yes.
You weren't,
Okay.
you weren't actually challenging because in that season that you came second the first time, let's have it right. What happened?
We challenged and we bottled it at the end. But
Oh,
we
now we're
challenged.
doing definition of challenging now, though. 'Cause
No, but I
what
don't
we
wanna
want
go
Wait,
into-
challenge-
wait. So what is
To
what
be-
is challenging for
No,
Chelsea?
hold
What is
on,
Yeah,
challenging?
yeah, yeah.
Let me now. Okay, to be top of the
answer.
league, 93%, is that means he had a big
Nah,
chance of
you
winning
did
the
too
title.
much.
He didn't
no,
challenge.
no,
He
no,
bottled.
that's
I'm
not
just saying we need to use the right adjectives here.
They're not
What are we
mutually
saying? Did he bottle it
exclusive.
or did he
You
not?
can
No,
challenge
no,
Yeah,
and
so
bottle.
Shez,
We
you
bottled.
asked the question, guys. You asked the question and I answered the question, but he challenged the third year. His problem is not the first 3 years. The problem is not the money. Do you know what the problem is? Is now you challenge 1, 2, 3, and you haven't won. You
That's
failed.
fact.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
you
of course.
fucking
Yeah,
failed.
yeah, yeah.
Facts.
That's
But
what I'm saying,
did he do a good job? Yes, he did. And then, but after a good job, now you have to finish that job. You cannot be.
Yeah, but that-
you know what?
yeah,
you know what I mean by
agree this.
you're building the house. You're building the house. You put the basement in. You put the wood in. You put the bricks in and everything. But if at the end you cannot put a family in the house, you just failed because the
Of course,
house
you
is
can't-
for
you can't do a
nothing.
project 3 quarters and then leave. Facts. What I'm saying is,
That's it.
but
That's it.
but obviously, Ashraf would agree. Not all managers get time because they don't deserve it. That's fair. Clearly, the board supported Arteta's project, his movement. That's why they backed him, despite the fact he stagnated or only improved marginally to 5th place. Fair enough to Arsenal. They backed it. They're now 2nd. But I'm just arguing, shouldn't any manager with that money spent, that should be, I know it isn't, but it should be the bare minimum. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
want
if we go by
Ashraf,
your
my point
logic,
is this, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to. I don't look at it in a vacuum and overrate it and be like, "Wow, we should back this guy to the
no,
hill
no,
because he's
I'm
doing-"
just gonna.
Oh,
I'm
but
just
no
gonna
one,
play
no
the
one
same-
said that. No one
Sorry,
said that.
Mo. I'm just going to use the same logic you guys use, which is fair. Arteta won the FA Cup with a team that was not his team. Fair enough. When Arteta built his team, the first season he finished 5th, second season he challenged immediately. So it took him 2 seasons to challenge when he built his team because he built
Still
his team in
1-0.
21-22. Yeah. But my point is he did it in
When
2
he
years.
built
He didn't do.
his team.
He did it in 2 years. He didn't do it in.
How long did it
5
take
years.
Slot? How long did it take Slot without his team?
Because Slot already had a team that would challenge last season, not
Really?
2 seasons before. I already rated what Slot did is amazing. But if we go by because you cannot have your cake and eat it. Either he did something impressive, winning the FA Cup with a shit team, or yeah, you're right, it wasn't his team.
What
So he
happens?
shouldn't
What
get-
happens
So he
when?
shouldn't get
Yeah, but
credit.
Ashraf,
but-
do we rate
But then you
Conte
don't
less?
count. You don't count.
No,
the
wait,
same
no, let
way.
me ask you.
One
So
at a
when
time,
he-
please, guys. Wallahi,
So
we
no,
cannot.
I'll just land on this. So when he finished 8th,
George, I want to
that
spend 1
first
point,
full
yeah?
season, when he finished 8th, that first full season, it doesn't matter because it wasn't his team. He was cleaning out the old guys. So
Ashraf, do you rate Conte for what he did with Chelsea then? Surely you don't.
yeah, of course, 100%.
But why do you rate him?
Conte's
He
an
came to a
amazing
team
manager.
that won the league year before
Because Conte's team won the league 2 seasons before that, and the reason they finished 10th in 2015, 2016, Chaz knows this, but he pretends like
I'm
I don't
saying
know. So I'm
Conte's
I'm
job,
gonna-
not Chelsea. I'm
Yeah.
saying
One second. Chelsea won the league in 2014, 2015. Majority of the same players were still there. Yeah, he added Victor Moses and Alonso. The others were all there. 2015, 2016 was an anomaly. It wasn't an representation of who Chelsea really were. Mourinho fell out with the players. Hazard disappeared for 90% of the season. So when Conte, a good manager, came in, like Conte, all he had to do was just get the team to play the way they are supposed to play. He didn't have to buy extra players. He literally got Victor Moses and Alonso. That's it. Hazard was there. And Conte. But my point is, the majority of the players, Matic,
I felt like
was
you're
there.
downplaying it a little
Hazard
bit.
was there.
feel like you're downplaying it a
Fabregas
little
was
bit.
there. The top scorer Costa was there. Cahill was there. They got back Luis, but big deal.
We've gone way
Azpilicueta
off topic.
was there.
Way off
Yes.
topic.
No, we
Way
haven't.
off topic.
Because of
Let's,
one super
let's
chat.
rein this back in.
I
yeah.
answered.
I want to
Chelsea.
rein this back in and bring this back to this season right now. Premier League football. What's
We're just
going
talking
on?
about Chelsea.
Stop
Premier League
now.
penalty.
I wanted to talk about the Chelsea and the Nottingham Forest the next season.
I was actually going to ask. I was going to ask a very good question.
Okay, before you go on, let me do this. Okay, big up everyone, guys. Can you guys hit the like button? Get us to 200 likes. Lamine Yamal just did fucking madness. By the way, he put a guy
I
on
saw
his
that.
back, bro. Mo, am I the only one who
conceded
thinks
10
that?
minutes later.
Yeah, Mo, am I the only one who think that Barca will win the Champions League? They have a chance.
I think so.
But I think that if we reach the semi-final, we'll knock them out. You see their defense is wide open. It's wide open. And our defense is stronger than the majority of the teams they have faced.
I like Inter's
So
team. I like Inter's team.
We're very, like, in the Champions League, we don't concede goals. Ash and Wolfie should do a forfeit if they're not second. I love this.
What does that
I'm
mean?
here. I'm
What does
here
that
for
mean?
this.
Oh,
That's
That's
Yeah,
what I
make
was
it.
gonna. No, see,
I
look,
hear
this
it. I hear
reference
it.
is my question because I was gonna ask.
Okay, let me
Are
finish
we-
the next ones and
Is,
then we'll
is,
go.
is Maresca considered a better manager? As he
Maresca?
managed
Who's
to
that?
finish
Hold on. Can I
Maresca.
do the next super chats? Couple of them.
Maresca.
Just couple,
Maresca.
couple of them.
No, there's no edge.
Mina.
Maresca.
Man, I didn't
Mena.
know.
I'm gonna do
Maresca.
that. I'm gonna come back to this. I am sorry for my first super chat throwing the whole show off. You did. AMT saying Ange at Spurs spent 407 million in his first 2 seasons. Arteta at Arsenal 250 million.
Thank you,
Then
AMT.
what?
Thank you. People forget this.
People
Is that
forget.
true?
that.
I don't get what we're doing.
It's actually
here.
true.
Wait,
It's
wait,
actually
wait.
true.
What?
Yes. Yes.
No, it's not
400
I
million.
actually,
Yes.
when he
yes,
sent the
thank
super
you.
chat, I went and checked that.
No, I would
UK,
have to
and
check
how,
that.
how,
That
ma- how many
doesn't
players? How many players were bought prior to Ange coming in?
Ah,
And how much money of
Hey,
that
no,
was
no, we
spent?
don't hear
Nothing.
this. George.
Arsenal-
No, because this is just
Arsenal zero.
stupid. This is
There
Zero
was
stupid.
players.
inflation
When
in
you're
that.
talking
Where we
about
don't
Pedro
see-
Porro and Kulusevski, players that were signed in the window.
Ashraf,
windows
this is why I
prior
said
to
I'll
him
tell over
joining.
Ange, by the way. I changed
No,
for
no.
a reason.
This is where
I
we're just
changed for a
being
reason.
stupid because again, that about 90 million euros of that is 2 players that were signed prior to Ange coming in. Let's have that right. Just the fees were deferred to the seasons that Ange came in.
Jordz,
And
inflation
how
as
and
well.
how much more money of that was spent on young players like Vuskovic,
No, that's not the
Yamin,
problem.
and players that aren't even
That's not our
playing for
issue.
Spurs.
Oh
That's
my
your
God.
My point
He's
is they're
using-
investments. They're not playing for Spurs.
You
They're
know-
not
you know
Ange
who you-
signings. What
you know
doing
who
here?
are you
Ange
giving-
not
you-
spending more money than Arteta.
Do you know
Tottenham
who
has
you are?
the club.
Do you know who are you giving out then? Chelsea, because they spent $1.5 billion. 700 or 800 of them are spent on players that you will never see playing for the first team.
And
Okay,
that weren't
that's
signed from
fine.
your squad.
So when you want to have that conversation, Chelsea fans can bring that up in their defense. That's not for me to have the conversation about. But what
And
I was
also
gonna-
Arsenal, they can say that, oh, how much of that was spent on one player on Declan Rice? Okay.
Yeah.
How much of that was spent on left backs?
Yeah, how much was that was spent on whatever? We
Okay,
can say
so
do all of
what do
this.
okay, then add that context. You want to spend £100 million on a player that's not turning up for you week in, week out. That's on you, bro. That's
He
on
was
them.
one of the best players in
Again,
the league last season.
We're
so he
going
was not-
to currently what's going on. I was
better
gonna
than
say-
any
Anyway, what
midfielder
have
you
you-
have.
Guys,
has a
let's go
very
back.
much
Go
has
back
a
to the
good
conversation.
chance.
George,
has a
what is your question?
Enzo
The
Maresca-
topic of this show is, can Chelsea finish second, Forest finish second, and
I
does
was
that
literally
mean
getting onto
anything?
that. That's what I mean. Yeah,
Yes,
so
go ahead.
Enzo Maresca has a very good chance of potentially
Messi.
finishing above Arsenal. Chelsea are 6 points behind Arsenal right now. This game this weekend is literally a huge game for you guys because if they break that lead down to 3 points, and let's have it right, Arsenal's games don't get much easier. Yeah, they don't have easy games going into the end of the season until Saka and Martinelli come back, which I know it's a few weeks, but still, I don't even think
Martinelli
they're
is
going to come
back. Martinelli played last
Martinelli's
game.
back. All right, he's rubbish anyway. But Saka, more important.
Saka is in training. He's back this month.
Okay, he's
Wait, we
so
talking
that's-
about who gets top
Wait,
2 here?
Ashraf, you're jumping, but you don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Ashraf, you're nibbling.
You don't even know what I'm saying. You're just jumping. Saka's back.
correcting your
Let him land,
I'm
man. Let him
correcting
land.
No, I said
Chelsea
until they're back.
segment.
Martinelli's back. Cool, fine. He's shit anyway. Saka's back. Cool. He's not going to be at his best straight away. He's been out for 3 or 4 months,
Of
so
course not.
you're going to have
Yeah.
to give him time. My point is that Arsenal can definitely drop more points going into the end of the season. Are you not worried? Are you not looking behind you at the teams like Chelsea and Enzo?
Why is
Maresca?
this turned into an Arsenal question, not a Chelsea
Yeah,
question?
Arsenal
Again,
last week.
getting
Arsenal-
back to it. Well,
Ask
because
me,
that was my
Jordz,
question.
ask
We were
me,
talking
ask
about
me,
managers.
bro.
I was going to say if Enzo Maresca finishes above Arteta, is he a better manager than Arteta now? Is he one of the best managers in the league?
I
Is
would
that what we're doing?
I can't lie. If he did finish above our, depends how. Depends how. If they drop off and we get there, actually, I'll still rate him. I'll put it this way, yeah. For Chelsea in particular, to answer your
He
question,
likes
halfway.
Arteta, bro.
Who?
You do.
I think he's a good coach, but I think he's still a butler, so I wouldn't take him in that regards. But if you told me Ange or him, I'll take him. But anyway, we're regressing. What I would say is this, yeah. Chelsea, the only hope I have is hopium, I'll admit it, is the fact that our team is slowly coming back in it. So after international break, we should basically have a full team back. The same team that saw me be second in the league or third in the league for 19 games. Now, the reason why that's important is because despite the fact the quality might not be the best to finish second, I feel like the confidence it will bring, the mentality improvement it will bring to the team when they see their best players around, will therefore improve the results. And the fact that last year, when we had a terrible run-in, and everyone told me, Ches, you've got this team, this team, this team. We actually will think we won 8 out of our last 10 games. I think we done quite well to finish 6th in the league, 2 points behind Aston Villa or Spurs, one of them two. We should be in the Europa League, actually, funny enough. Shout out Man City. I feel like Chelsea can have a good end to the season, but it's very dependent on the mentality. For example, perfectly set up is this weekend. Chelsea have a terrible record against top 6 teams away from home. Terrible. We don't win, other than Spurs. That's mentality. I had a debate earlier, people saying to me, if you can't do it over and over again, it's more than just mentality. But in my opinion, Arsenal have the quality, they just don't have the mentality to win the league. It's opposite for Chelsea. We don't have the mentality as well in terms of the big 6 teams to show our quality to move up the table. So this weekend is massive. If we beat Arsenal, it says a lot. If we lose, it doesn't say anything. It's much of the same. If we draw,
It does. It says a lot.
No, if we lose, we always lose. There's literally no difference.
No, because you're gassing yourselves up because you beat Leicester and Southampton.
Who's gassing themselves up?
That's the context that's being.
Who's
missed there.
gassing themselves up?
The Chelsea fans.
How they gas themselves up? Have you seen our fan base?
That you
They're
think you
not
can
gassed.
finish second. You can't finish second.
Did you see the aftermath after the game? The fans weren't happy. People said it was crap.
Well,
People
of
say
So why
course
do you
wouldn't
think
be
you
happy
can
after
finish
that game.
second? Why do you think you finished second?
We say Jordz?
No, of course you wouldn't be happy after that game. You guys shouldn't
Exactly.
be
What's my man talking about?
last couple weeks,
Chelsea
but-
fans are not happy, bro. They're
Bro,
not
I've been
happy.
hearing 3 in a row from Chelsea fans. We're back.
What are you on about? You know, just been. What are you on about? Like, no Chelsea fans saying that at all.
Yeah,
The
Charlie.
only people who are saying second is probably someone like me, only because our first team's coming back. If Lavia wasn't coming back, if Fafana weren't back, I wouldn't be saying that. It's going to be tough.
Oh, so you are getting second then?
I feel like if Chelsea can show,
I hate that question. Are you going to win the league? Are you going to finish
No,
second?
no,
Like,
Mo, because you
we have
didn't hear what he
Oh,
said
you're the one who
specifically.
asked the
'Cause he
question.
said the only
that's
because he
not
said
how you
the
ask the
only.
question.
No, but Mo, you didn't hit because what he said was the only people that think we can finish second is people like me. And then he said, but it's going to be tough. So I'm saying so you do think, because at first, remember when we asked him the question, he said, I didn't say that. So I'm saying, okay, so you do think that you're finishing second. That's my point.
No, it's not. I wouldn't ask the question like this. I would ask the
I
question.
never said want to finish. I asked the question.
And just then in your words, you said people like me think that when our players come back, we can finish second. That's literally what you just said.
I said, in theory, based on the first few games of the season,
In theory.
half the season, we've got the same team that was playing then coming back now. Now, the same reason you gave for why you dropped off, I'm not going to use the injuries as an excuse. The same words that you used, but it's definitely a factor in why I falling off. Cool, so you agree? You can't even rebuttal that. It's facts.
I'm not saying that. I'm literally asking you, are you going to...
Yeah, so I'm going to answer it. So the same players that got me to that position are now coming back into the team. I should therefore see an improvement in my performances and therefore improvement in my results. If my results improve to level of the first 19 games of the season, then I should probably finish second, third in the league minimum. Because in our next 10, we should win 7, 8 of them, which is mad.
Chaz, have you seen your
Hold
running,
on.
bro? Have you seen your running?
You think? Yes, exactly. Okay, so Wolfie, it's great because my question.
Did you see our run last year? Did you see our run last year?
Yes, you think you can? Most likely, you will win 8 out of the last 10 games of the season.
Last year with a lesser squad, with a worse manager, everyone said we're going to drop. Everyone said we're going to finish mid-table. We won our last 7 or 8 games out of 10 against the same big teams we're playing now.
Last year, Spurs were in the top 5 race, bro. Like, live in the current, not the past.
No, I
you
like
listen-
what Ches is saying. I know,
Are
I
you
like
listen-
what Ches is saying.
Are you
I like
listening
what
to what
you're
I'm
saying,
saying
Ches.
or not?
No, I'm listening. I like what you're saying, Ches. And I want you to keep on it. I want to stay there. I want to stay there because you said that you can win 8 out of the last 10.
I know. I
And-
never said we will. I said last year when everyone said,
bro,
we'll
you
drop
keep
points.
no, Ches. I can't lie. You're getting annoying now because you keep doing these things. You say something, then you go,
Bro.
"Oh, but I never said we will. I said that we can." Like, bro, you just said we can win 8 of our last 10. I expect with the team that we had starting the season, the first 19 games, they performed to a certain level. So I expect them to perform to that
Yes.
same level going into the last 10
Yes.
games. That's exactly what you said.
I never know. listen, I
Verbatim,
never
actually,
said-
word for word, bro. Like,
No, I
literally
never
said
said.
that.
I never
You
said.
did.
I never said I expected. me
Okay, so as
say
to make it
level.
easier, stop giving
Well,
us
I
the
said I
Doctor
expect
Strange
better
14
results.
million scenarios. Just tell us what you think will happen. What is your
Realistically,
for where
we'll
Chelsea
probably
finish?
lose against Arsenal, and we'll probably end up 5th. But
Okay,
that's just being
that's his opinion.
being
Fair.
realistic. But what I'm to answer
Okay.
George's point,
Very
to,
good.
to agree with George's point, if I'm being a bit optimistic with our players coming back, then I would like to see us do what George said, which is to win 8 out of 10 and prove
Yeah,
everyone
you'd
wrong.
like to see it, but
And
you're saying it
every-
There we
doesn't
go.
happen.
But
I Ashraf would like to see his team win the Champions League. It's guys.
I
Yeah,
know
but
what
bro,
I'm
fucking-
and
fucking
like, what are we
absolute
doing
team.
here? I would like to be in the Champions League too. What are we doing? I don't
I
care
know,
what
man.
you'd like. Tell me what's gonna happen.
would
It's
like-
I'm giving a
unfair.
prediction, innit? I said we're going to finish
I
5th in the
would
league.
It's like the
Guys,
worst
to
thing
be
you
fair,
can
he
do.
did say he's gonna finish 5th, and he
You
said
man
they'll
don't
lose
Ches
this
listen.
weekend.
keeps
So
doing these things where he
he did
uses
say it, to be
specific
honest.
words to say he can rebuttal his statement and be like, "I never said that we will."
All he
I
does
said
is
I
in it,
expect
He
us
always
to
tries to
finish
cover
fifth,
his
but I
back,
don't
leave
want us to
himself a
finish
trapdoor to get out from down the road. You know what I'm saying? It's
No,
always
you don't
what he
think I'm
does.
just being smart on my words. I'm just saying how I feel, innit? I'm just
You're
saying
very smart, bro.
we
You're very
could
smart.
finish 5th. I don't want to finish 5th, but we could finish 2nd. And I want to finish 2nd.
It's just the point of this
So it just
conversation. I would love a Ferrari. I can maybe afford a Ferrari in 100 years, but I probably won't get a Ferrari. It's
Let
like,
her
what are you
speak
doing
into
here, bro?
existence. Maybe you'll get that Ferrari. Now you're saying it.
Maybe, and maybe
See?
pigs will fly, bro. And
What I'm
maybe
saying is,
Arteta
let's
will
see
win a
what happens,
trophy.
innit?
You never know.
There is a problem. Wallah Lazim. Wolfie, you're the funniest guy on the internet. The confidence he speaks with, bro, because they are third in the league, it throws people off. You think that Nottingham Forest have been in the Champions League spots for the last 10 years? Like,
Bro,
they-
but
I know,
honestly,
some people
it
don't
doesn't matter
know.
who I
Forest not
support. It
finishing
doesn't
top
matter who I
four.
support.
I can see Nottingham Forest not finishing top 4, by the way.
Do you know what? Do you know what's funny about that? You play them on the last day of the season.
Exactly,
At
yeah.
the Forest ground.
Yo,
George,
Chase, you won us in the top 4, bro.
Hey,
You won us
hey,
on the beach come that last day,
Let me
bro.
give you Wolfie, let me give you a fact, yeah?
Mm.
Chelsea, I think, have won the last 4 games out of like 12. We're 2 points behind you. 2 points.
Congratulations.
There is a world where Forest won't finish top 4, and it's going to be the funniest thing to see Wolfie's face.
Let me give you a fact. Forest have won 1 game in the last 4, and we're still 2 points ahead of you.
That's my point.
What we
We're both
doing
crap. We're both crap.
All right, so what we're doing here, mate? You're still behind
That's
us,
my point.
and we haven't even been
literally agree with
informed.
me, bro.
And let me give you another fact. Our last 10 games,
both
8 of
behind
them are
us.
bottom half teams.
We're both
You-
crap. Arsenal, Newcastle, all crap teams. It's just who's the least crap.
We're not crap. Don't put us in your bucket. We're
You
not
haven't won
crap.
1 game in 3.
Hey,
Oh, yeah,
I-
Ashraf,
I-
don't think
I
you
have
can
a-
hide from this convo.
Ashraf, you
I have
can't hide
a
from
crap.
prediction. I have a
You lost
prediction.
at home
Within
to
the
West
next
Ham, allow
4
it.
games,
Yeah,
within the
yeah.
next
That still
4
doesn't make
games,
us crap.
Forest will
Does.
not be third. Within the next 4 games, Forest will
Facts,
not be.
Mo. Facts.
Within the next
Well,
4
what-
games, you will
what-
not be
what-
third.
Wolfie,
Why?
you're gonna drop outside top 4. Watch, guaranteed.
You're gonna,
Like,
you're
this
gonna
shows
be
your
4th or 5th.
uneducation. This shows you're an education.
How is that
Okay,
education?
bro? Just all right. Tell me what the matches are this weekend.
I don't think you go to Brighton and win.
That's
think
the
you
FA
lose.
Cup, Habibi, for a start. So nice try.
Okay. I don't think you win against Man United at home. I don't think you win against
Yeah,
Villa. I
Arsenal.
think you
They
lose
win
that.
against United.
They won't win. They won't. I'm
Manchester
telling you.
United.
They
You're
won't.
stretching here now, Muhammad. You're stretching a little, Habibi.
No,
You're
no,
just,
no, no,
I
no.
can't, do you know why? Do you know why that's like literally Nottingham Forest have one of the easier runs going into the end of the season. They still got Leicester to play. They still got
We
like
have
the likes
Villa
of
away.
they've got a lot of teams that are mid-table have got nothing to play for. They've
George,
got
8 of
Tottenham,
the
they've got
teams
Palace,
of our last 10 are bottom half. 8 of the 10 are bottom half.
Nottingham Forest are in the
Think
best
about it,
position of all the
Guys,
teams.
that's what I said 3 months ago with
If
Liverpool.
Nottingham Forest-
all our teams, it doesn't work.
If
out.
Nottingham Forest,
Your Arsenal is different.
if Nottingham
They're
Forest,
Forest.
if Nottingham Forest do the
4 points
madness and
behind
actually keep the same run that they had all season and they finish second actually by winning all the games that you guys say they will win, I believe they're going to start next season as one of the teams that I say that they're going to make Champions League again, to be honest, next season, because I don't see other teams surpassing them, especially with an owner like that owner that will back the coach. And I don't see that happening. I don't see that. I don't see Nottingham Forest continue with the same energy like this for the rest of the last 10 games. I don't think so.
Well, look at the games this weekend. You don't even need to go further. The four teams around us, the 4 teams around us are playing each other, and we got Ipswich.
And you're gonna beat Ipswich then?
Inshallah.
You sure you're gonna beat Ipswich away from home?
You know, I don't have ilm al-ghaib, man, but you know, inshallah.
But you're expecting to beat.
I would expect us to beat them, yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you what, if freaking Forest finish above Arsenal, Arteta has to be sacked on the spot, and I'm sorry. I'm going to bring it back to Arsenal with all due respect.
You can all you want, but like you guys are doing this. We are upset with our season as it is. It's a failure of a season, but I'm not going to get involved in this like mediocre stuff because we are already mediocre.
Get involved in it because you're already upset.
It's nothing to say. What do you mean you're getting involved?
But the funny thing is, LB told me the same.
Fight back when you got no hands. What you
Forest, Wolfie. Before we played City, LB was like the same thing. Before we played Forest,
I don't care about individual results, Ashraf.
At least Chess is honest, and he's saying, "Yeah, I think we lose."
Wait, Ashraf, you said you'd be 8 points clear of me by now. What's the gap?
Wait. Repeat what I said before the end of the season. Where will we be ahead of you?
You said by the time, even after we played you, I expect us to be 7, 8
I
points
said
clear.
even if we lose, even if we lose to Forest, we will finish the season, in my opinion, 7 points, but minimum 5 points ahead of you.
Oh, now that's changed. The minimum was 7 now. It's changed.
Yeah. No. I said minimum 5, but I did 7.
I want to bring it back to something else, but let me just do this. 1.6 billion spent and 0 trophies. Explain yourself, Chess. Quickly, Chess, to answer. Is he listening? Is he listening to us?
No, what do I need to explain?
I just don't think there's much.
I don't glorify not winning. I hate not winning. You're talking to the wrong guy, bro. I've won everything my whole life. I've won everything. Of course I don't like not winning. What kind of rubbish is that?
Nottingham Forest fan asked about inflation at 4.18%. Wolfie.
Wait, why inflation? Who brought this up?
Wolfie's just a bro. Wolfie's a wind up, bro. Wolfie's a wind up, bro. He's just
let him enjoy his time, man. He ain't gonna be back.
Bottom half will be playing low block. Nottingham Forest will suffer. That is true.
That's not true. I think we beat them 7 out of the 8 teams that are in the bottom half that we have left to play. So do your research.
We'll see, bro. Who would be surprised if Forest finished less than 12? What?
Bro, not less than 12.
Next season.
Next season, he's saying. I would not be surprised.
Again, this shows
that's a good comment. Who's going to be in the contest next season? Are Chelsea going to be title contenders if they do the business in the summer?
Yeah, I think so. 100%.
Right now, I think Forest are in the best position to compete next year. You can laugh what you want.
Wolfie is entertaining. I will say that. Well, like,
listen to my logic. Liverpool.
I want to listen. Let me listen to his logic. Go ahead.
Liverpool are going to lose Trent, maybe Salah, maybe Van Dijk. They need to rebuild. Man City need to rebuild their whole midfield. They're too old. Arsenal, they need not the whole, but you know what I'm saying. They need at least 5 players. Arsenal need a whole new strike force and a manager. Chelsea, I mean, I don't know if you got any more hotels to sell, but you'll probably run out of money. We need maybe 2 players for next season. So by my logic, Forest are the best approaching the season going into next year. I ain't saying they're gonna win it, but I'm saying they're the most stable club in the top 5. So you can hold that shit, man. I
think you'll be lucky to finish in the top 8 next season because I don't think you'll handle Champions League football and Premier League football together.
Yeah, you know when we went to Champions League last time, we won it.
I don't think. While I don't think we can win the league with Arteta, but I think with him being there, if we do sign a striker, which people say we're going to do, and a left winger, I think we'll challenge. I don't think we'll win it though. City don't need that kind of reinforcement. The Rodri itself coming back is a major boost to the team. I think Foden is on his day world class. I think
Foden is done. Gundogan's done. De Bruyne is done.
Yeah. I'm finishing. Foden on his day is world class. So they already have 2 midfielders. They just need to add like 2 more, in my opinion. I don't think they should let go of Kovacic and all these guys at one go. Even Bernardo Silva, I don't think he should go this summer. He can stay for experience. Their defenders will be back. They'll probably sign a right back. Liverpool, Van Dijk and Salah will both stay. I agree Trent will probably leave. I don't think the other 2 will leave. I think Aston Villa will have a better chance than you. I think Newcastle, if they get top 5 this season, they'll probably go trying more players. They'll keep Isak. They'll be a lot better than you. I think you'll be like around like Brighton. And I think if Brighton makes smart signings like they've done over the last couple of years, I think Brighton will finish above you as well, in my opinion.
Bro, before you worry about my club, worry about yours, man.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about your club at all. I swear.
You should.
I'm only worried about City, because I know City, when they go to the summer, they mean
Yeah,
business.
weren't you just worried about City?
I'm
this
not worried
year?
about
And
you
what happens?
whatsoever.
And what happens?
I told you at the very beginning when we had the stream at Hassam's channel, I told you I'm only entertaining you this season, Wolfie, because we will not see you in streams next season. Because when
How
Hassam
many
does top
entertaining
4,
you this season, bro? Because you may not got Champions League.
Wolfie, it's nice.
I
to
may
meet
not
you,
get
but I know
Champions
I won't
League.
see
I
next
love
year.
that. I love that.
It's
Bro.
calm. It's nice to meet Wolfie.
I
It's
may
nice
not-
to have different engagement. You know, another red logo.
He's a nice
But
guy,
you-
honestly. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, you're a great guy, man.
I
Nice to have you.
appreciate it. But we'll be talking next year, you know what I'm saying?
But
Well,
also, I find it funny.
as
Ashraf
long
goes,
as Chelsea
hey,
get in the
Wolfie, what
Champions
I would
League.
say, I agree with you though. Ashraf goes, I'm not worried about any other team. You don't win nothing. Why are you
Yeah.
talking like you win?
He said he wasn't
I
worried
didn't say
about
that.
anyone but
I
Man
didn't-
City.
I
What
didn't
happened
say
this
that.
year?
You're not worried about
Man
anyone
City.
but Man City.
I
You're not
didn't
everybody, bro.
say that. Okay, I guess you want to hear what you want to hear. I never said that, to be
You
honest.
just
but
said
okay.
what? Am I going mad?
Wait,
You-
is there comprehension issues on the stream? Because first is Ches, and now you're saying that you didn't just literally say
Am I going
I'm not
crazy or
worried
what?
about anyone apart from Man
You
City.
just said that.
That's
Exactly.
literally
Wait. Stop. I didn't
Stop.
worry. I'm not worried about any team outside Man City. That's one. Shez says, Ashraf said, you're not worried about any team at all. There's a difference in the 2 sentences.
Bro, I said Man City.
Did say Man
Oh,
City.
I didn't hear you say Man City because you didn't finish the Man City thing. I only said if Arteta stays, even if we sign a striker, even if we sign a left winger, I don't think we'll have it in us to win the league, because I think Arteta, unfortunately, needs perfect conditions to win, and I don't think we are ever going to get perfect conditions, in my opinion. But yeah,
Man City will never win the league under Mikel Arteta.
yeah, unless we get perfect
prefer
conditions, which I don't think will happen, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, to be honest. If
You had
you're an
perfect
Arsenal fan,
conditions
bro,
this
I just
You
they
might as
didn't
well
have
be.
perfect
Might as well
conditions
be
this
Ange
season,
right now,
really.
innit? Might as well have Ange. At least you'll be entertained.
No,
Chelsea,
I don't
Chelsea
wanna finish
get
10th,
off
bro.
too easy. Keep the fire on. What is
Mr.
Emma?
1 billion.
Go on,
And
billion.
Mr.
$1
1
billion.
billions.
No,
Listen,
it's
I
just
think
on his
if
panel,
by the way,
that
I'm
he-
just gonna tell you guys, if Chelsea next season don't challenge for the title, questions need to be asked without a
No,
shadow of a
that's
doubt.
not
Bro, you know the funny thing is, it should be a question
no,
to ask
no,
now.
no.
Why?
No,
I
no,
can
That's just
answer.
silly.
I can
That's a
answer.
silly
I can
point. That's
answer,
such a
George.
silly
I can
point.
answer.
Guys, in the last
can
5 years,
I
let
can
me just give you
answer.
the stat. In the last 5 years, they have outspent.
Forget money. Forget money.
No.
about
One
money,
second,
that's
George.
just about
It's
the
not
money.
George,
played
let me
in the
just give you-
financial book. This is the
George-
financial league.
No. Let me give you this context. Let me just give you context. In the last 5 years, they have spent more than or almost double the team in second place. Forget like
On who,
Arsenal.
Ashraf? On who?
I
On
get it.
who?
I get it.
On
No.
who?
You know what? But this is the no. But this is the problem
Ashraf,
with this
who's the money
argument
on?
is no.
You know
The
what?
reason
I'll
why the
actually-
argument's
I'll actually do
rubbish.
that. Good.
Wait, the
I'll do
reason
that.
why the
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 argument
problem is, George,
No.
I put the statement. You asked me a question, I never got to fucking answer them.
go.
Right? Like the reason why, because
TMI, I think
it
so.
doesn't matter for anyone where is the money spent. That is not the rivals' problem. That is
I
not
never
the
said it was
pundits'
the rival's
problem.
though.
Hold on. That's not the pundits' problem. We only analyze football club on how do you spend the money, right? Where you spend it is your problem. It is not the pundits' problem. It is your problem. The project did not start with Maresca. The project started when these owners came in, brought in Koulibaly, brought in these guys, and then changed all the team. They sold all these Aubameyang guys and all these guys, and they brought new players. These players cost a lot of money. If you are spending more than 200 million in a midfield, I'm expecting that midfield to be arguably one of the best in the world, let alone the league, right?
But
If
factually,
you go
you can
on-
say you expect that, but factually, you know, coming into the team that needs.
I know that they are not, and that is the problem. The reason why I said questions being asked, George, is that because I know that that might not be true. You get my point? The same as I am not expecting Arsenal to win the league, but if Arsenal
this is
don't
what-
win the
this is
league,
what I'm
let me
about,
finish that.
man.
Let me finish the next point. I'm not expecting Arsenal to win the league, but still questions need to be asked, George, if they don't win the league. So I know that questions will be asked to Arsenal next season. You get my point, George?
Yeah,
Like when I'm stating that statement, I am not expecting
Yeah,
Chelsea to challenge, right? But I'm still gonna ask the questions because of all the context that I put in.
Okay, cool. I understand the money spent and comparison. Ashraf used the comparison to second place. Here's the problem. If you don't want to use the context, then what Mo says is spot on. If you just want to say you spend 1.6, go win the league,
What's the
no
context?
excuses, I would have the same energy. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'll be saying the same thing if I was a rival of Chelsea. 100%. Here's the thing. The same people who are saying this will now tell me you're not even good enough to finish top 4. The same people telling me this. So Mo's logic is based off the fact that you spent the money in a certain way. But unfortunately, Chelsea's decided to spend it in an exceptional way and buy their youngsters and develop the squad. So you're now judging that process in the way you view the normal process. Do you know what I'm saying? If it's been 5 years, then 100%. It's been 2. So now
Guys, I just ran the numbers. So because Ches asked a very good question. It's like, who did we spend the money on? Which is fair. If they spend like 1.7 billion on like 500 players, it makes sense.
Vinny, Palmer,
correct. So guys, here's the breakdown of the last 5 years. Arsenal, on average, have spent 9.9 million per player in all the players they got over the last 5 years. Spurs have spent 9.1 million on average per player. United have spent 10 million on average per player. City have spent 8.6 million on average per player. Chelsea have spent an average of 11 million per player. So even if you take the amount of money spent per player, you still spend more. So you cannot say
Ashraf.
I've never heard someone do a stat like that.
Wait, do you know why that's rubbish? Because any guy that does maths knows that when you use ratios like that, so it's going to be a percentage or a ratio, and you add it up, and it's going to average out at 11 million. It's going to be a lot higher when they're spending
standard
so
deviation
much and they're signing so many more players.
No, but it doesn't, because you're taking the average. You're spending that much money, but they also got way more.
Did you count the standard deviation as well into that or not?
I get you, but they have to spend players like 100 million on Caicedo, 100 million on Enzo, 60 million or how much ever they spent on Koulibaly. I don't remember when they sold them, how much they spent on Havertz, and yes, they made a profit selling him back. But the point is, they also have some big hitters. You bought Havertz in the last 5 years.
This is a conversation that will go for a while. Let me do a couple of these super chats just to finish off the show. OGN is saying, no, we will not forget the money. Money got them the trophies they allowed about for the last 20 years. Now you want to forget about the money because you are shit.
That's what I'm saying. Critical thinking is needed. Okay. No one said you can't talk about the money. Just when you're using that, think about how you're speaking about it. Are you judging us based off Roman or the money we spent the money on? Because if we're doing Roman, you're going to be every year complaining. Because we're not winning the Premier League next season. But it's not. So every year you're going to say the same thing.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's just a pointless conversation.
It's a weird conversation. Why not win the league? Well, Palmer's 24. Why not win the league? Well, our team's developing, but cool. The only difference is I want to win trophies.
It's just like a lot of fans, let's just say Man United fans right now, they're going to hold their team to a standard where they were at 10 or 15 years ago, because they are, by rightfully so, the biggest club in England. They have to win the league, but they haven't won the league in 15 years. You need to.
What I would say, Jordz,
is
not be a hypocrite. I do still want to win on the way. That's why I get onto Arsenal, because like I said earlier, they don't win anything. That's the difference. If we win on the way, we pick Conference League, FA Cups, Carabao Cups, and then win the Prem, I'll be more than happy. The problem with Arsenal is they do all this process and
you don't win anything with this new ownership either, to be honest. But yeah,
Ashraf, you do all this loading.
They're gonna this year.
Ashraf is just swinging.
Yeah, conference league. To be honest, I think they will win the conference.
Ashraf, I feel sorry for you, man. 3 years is a big grown man. You can't even see a Premier League. It's peak.
Anyway, listen, guys.
But you won't win anything either with Premier League. So we're in the same position. The only difference is
you panel today, man.
The only difference is you outspend me. I fail while I fail.
Ashraf goes, I want it out, and he's still staying anyway.
Bro, You're failing while outspending everyone. That's the crazy
Ashraf,
part.
man, next year.
'Cause
Remember, there's always
Because
next
if
year.
we're
So are
excluding,
you,
if we're-
Ashraf. So are
Can you guys
you.
let it,
Yeah, yeah,
let
I
him
agree, I
talk,
agree.
guys, so we can end the show
Guys,
because you
yes,
guys both
thank
have
you.
to go.
I'm
no matter
saying,
what.
I'm saying,
No, they obviously
we
don't
are
want to go. It's
failing.
fine, man. Let them,
We
let
are-
them go.
We are failing.
Yeah?
We are obviously failing, and you can laugh about that. That's 100%.
Yeah, we
But
are
if we
gonna
are to
laugh about it,
ignore,
'cause you're
if we are
failing.
to ignore, one sec, Charles. If we are to ignore the Roman era, which is fair, you know what? Why should we hold the Roman era? Why should we hold Clear Lake to the same standards? Fair enough. In the Clear Lake era, you don't win either, so you're in the same boat as us,
Emma,
brother.
can I finish off
But
the
you
last thing?
outspent everyone else in the market.
Emma,
That's
let
the
me just say the
difference.
one last thing, yeah?
Okay.
We're failing. End the stream.
We're
End
all
of.
are. We are.
Awful.
We are.
Ashraf,
Guys,
all that
Except
uh,
Inter Milan, we all are. We're all failures
Guys,
here.
we're
That's what
out
it
of
is.
here, people. Hit that like button before you go. Let's get to 200 likes before you go.
People
We're
love.
out of here, people. We're out of here.